We're here with Smith-Kettlewell and the 3-piece project, and Chancey Fleet of the New York Public Library is going to be showing us how to use a 3D printer.
And this is my colleague Danielle.
Hello.
All right, so the first thing that we're gonna do is get rid of take off the print that's already here.
Okay.
So as you can feel here, we have the bed, and you can feel that the print here is pretty well adhered.
Yes.
So this is an easy to use bed. We don't have to use an X-Acto knife or anything like that because this is a flexible bed.
All right.
So if you move towards us, towards the front of the bed, nope, just move your fingers toward the front of the bed, exactly. So we're gonna find the 2 corners with your left hand and your right hand.
Yep.
And simply bring this up, detach it from the platform all the way. Yep, take it away. And now you can go ahead and just flex it. So I have it in my 2 hands here. You can flex the bed.
Got it.
And gone. Now it leaves behind the raft that sort of supported it. So you may want to flex it a little more, peel off the raft. I can take this so that you can do that if you want. I'm going to set that aside.
There we go. And here's the raft.
You see that raft? Okay, and now you can settle it back where it goes. So now once you have removed
the
magnetic plate to take off your print, and you flex it, which
Got
you've
it.
already done.
Yep, we took off the raft too.
I'm gonna hold this in my hand for a second so you can see what's happening. Because if you get this magnet close to any portion, it's just gonna start settling in the worst way. So if you come back to the back of the base plate here, you have 2 little screws.
Got it.
1, 2.
Yep.
And on your magnetic plate, you have kind of a cutout where those 2 little screws are going to be at the periphery. So you'll have a screw there
and a screw
there.
And the insides of these guys.
On the inner edges of that
inner
cutout.
edges. All right, let's try. So I'm gonna.
And then, do you want me to talk to you about the angle, or do you think you've got it figured out?
Let me see if I can line up based exclusively on the screws. So I'm tilting it up. I'm holding it at a little bit of an angle right there.
Can I come in lightly?
Yeah.
Lightly. Yep. Yeah, that's
I'm
exactly what I
snuggled right up to the screws.
And then with a free hand, you may want to check.
What I'm actually doing is I'm putting my hands on either side now. Now that I have that push, that little pusher, and then go.
I think. Let me double check. But I think. Well, there's a little.
See, there's a little bump out there.
Yeah, a big, and it's skewed in the opposite.
Yeah.
Here.
So
can I show you what I did as far as angling?
Can I try structure discovery one more time?
Yes, you can.
So what I want to do is I want to get it right up in there. Oh, okay, you know what? I think for me what helps also is holding the bed steady. Because that's a tiny bit.
It's still flaring out a little.
Yeah. Okay, let's see.
Oh, that's feeling.
Yeah.
To me, that's feeling really good.
That's good.
May I check that?
Yep. That's better.
And there might be, it feels like a tiny bit of deviation, but not a lot. I think it'll be okay.
So I think, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep, the screws look good.
So if I were, can I step in just so I can sort of verbalize what I'm thinking that I learned about this? So when I take off the magnetic bed and it's time to put it back, I'm going to orient myself. I'm going to hold the bed and I'm going to approach it so that it doesn't magnetize too soon. I'm holding it at a more, almost like a 45-degree angle so that the magnetic surface is lessened. Yeah. And that's how I'm going to line it up initially with those 2 screws. Yeah. So see, there's not as much magnetic force and it'll let me move it and line it up.
The thing I want to be cognizant of is if we lift it any higher, we're going over the screw.
That's right. Yeah. Well, but feel.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying though.
Yeah, no higher than that. You're absolutely right. 45 is going to be the max.
Yep.
And then just make sure that it's not extending too far out on the left or the right. Settle it all down, and then I'm happy. Are you happy?
It's tiny little bump on the left.
I think that's within the margin.
I think that's.
If not, it's going to let us know. Don't worry.
It sure will.
It does that automatic calibration so that it will not try to proceed with a print if the user has failed to get this to be symmetrical enough for success.
Okay.
So it'll protect us from ourselves. So we're going to start with the power, and the power on this Prusa MK3S is going to be in the back right. If you want to follow my hands, you can. So it's currently on, so we don't need to turn it off at this moment, but that's going to be your power. And you already noticed what's going on with the magnetic bed. So if you come back to the magnetic bed, this moves on the
y-axis.
Y-axis, exactly. So that's one of sort of 3 axes that we use. So next up, we're going to come back to the body on the right. And I'm going to show you the 100% safe way for a blind person to find the hot end, even if it's in process.
Okay.
Because the hot end does contact this magnetic bed, which means that there's not a large surface area that you can touch the top, but it does get very hot, so we're not going to come at it from the front or the side. Instead, we're going to come up, we're going to follow the body. Mind you, the rail is a little greasy, so we're going to go wash our hands later, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to follow across.
This
and
beam.
we're going to find, this is the spool holder that holds this filament, and there's the spool itself, and you can feel the filament that is descending. So a fun thing about this is as it enters the extruder, if it's not moving, if you can't feel that filament moving as the print is happening, you may know that you have a clog or a problem.
So this is a way to check status, is by coming from across here, or can I just reach up here if I know the printer well enough?
You can do. If you've got a good spatial map, you absolutely can.
If this is not wiggling, then we're not moving. This is not.
Well, if this filament, as you see this filament entering the extruder, you're going to feel it
slide through my fingers,
slowly marching in. Yeah, it's going to be slow, but it's going to be happening. So if there's no movement, that's a clue to you that maybe you have a clog, maybe you have an issue or a break.
Got it.
So this is the extruder. It's got some fans on it. So you're going to feel on the left-hand side a fan.
Yep. See.
On the front, a fan. Yep. And this is the part that we're going to give a lot of extra respect when it's in process. This is the hot end.
Okay. Ooh, sharp end too.
Yep. So that's where the filament's going to come out.
Got it.
When it's printing, it's going to be most of the time in full contact with the object that it's printing.
Got it.
But when it's heating up, it won't be. When it's cooling down, it won't be. And if there's any kind of issues, it may get separated from the 3D print at some point. So we always approach it from above.
From above. Okay. So we're going to go to just so I can review, we're going to go to the side, follow up the railing, across the beam, over to the spool holder and down.
Exactly. Yep. And so it's okay when it's in process. You never want to apply any force to it. But if you want to feel what moves it's making, it's a pretty safe thing, especially with an open construction one like this where there's no place that it's really going to pinch your hands. Just lightly touch a finger and you can feel, for example, if it's doing the infill, it may go, may I take your hand?
Yeah.
It may be doing this dance, the diagonal for the infill. I'm going to fill in, I'm going to skip a little, fill in, skip a little. And so you can know, is it doing a border? Is it doing infill?
And so where I would put my hand where for that?
Right where the filament, just a gentle, quick, gentle hand.
Got it.
Exactly.
Got it.
So this is how we move on the x-axis. Yep, exactly. And then this rail where the extruder is mounted is going to go up and down on the z-axis. These really greasy guys are going to rotate.
Okay.
So once I know where these are, I keep my hands away from them. Yep. It's not going to hurt you. We're just going to wash our hands later.
That's right.
So these are going to rotate and raise and lower on the Z.
Got it.
So now we come to our least favorite part of the 3D printer, the 4-line LCD screen. So the 4-line LCD screen has 4 mystery items, up to 4 mystery items. One of those items is going to be highlighted at a time.
Okay.
And currently OCR technology is not very good at telling us which one in a set is highlighted. Now, when we started talking, I knew that we were on the info screen, but now I don't know that because I touched the dial, and here's the dial on the right-hand side.
Does it click?
It clicks.
Does it wrap forever?
It wraps forever. So you can memorize a sequence. And so to restart the sequence, let's go back to the right where the power is.
Yeah. We're gonna toggle it.
A timeless classic, off and back on again.
All right.
And we're gonna give it about 30 seconds. Make sure that it has a chance to boot up.
Okay. Does it make any noise when it boots?
I don't believe it does.
Okay.
So it's gonna probably show you the product name, and then eventually it's gonna land you when you first boot it up on the info screen.
Got it.
The info screen is gonna give you some data about its status. So here we are on the info screen. So you're gonna click once to dismiss that info screen. Okay, so you are now on the main menu. If you were to click again, it would take you back into the info screen.
Got it.
You don't need. So you're gonna go clockwise once to get to preheat.
2.
And 2 to get to print from SD.
Great.
Click. Okay, so again, if you click now, it's gonna take you back a level. So clockwise once to
1 time.
initiate the print. And yes.
Oh, it thought about it before that clicked that time.
So I think that means
That might be good.
that we are in business. And a way to know that we're in business, after a couple minutes, we can see if the heated bed is starting. Oh,
Got it.
it's getting a little toasty feel.
Yep. Yep.
So I wouldn't recommend checking too much with the hot end to see whether it's in progress, but you get a pretty quick
Read out
temperature clue from this
great.
heated bed.
Yep.
And once you get that clue, you can go ahead and take your hands out of the way and let
Great.
it do what it does.
So it's going to all 9 points. Come check it out. It sounds like new noise is happening.
Yeah. Oh, do you smell that? Heating plastic, heating filament smell?
Yeah.
That sweet, slightly sweet smell. That lets you know the filament is heated up, it's at temperature, and it's starting to extrude. I'm coming in on the right to check it real quick.
All right.
I'm crossing over to the spool holder. I'm crossing over to the spool. I'm coming down and feeling that filament line with like the lightest, gentlest touch. And I can feel the filament flowing, and I can feel it moving left and right on basically on the x-axis for the moment. So
Okay.
I started again, just to reinforce, I started here on the right.
Oh, I see the bed.
Exactly. And I came
I'm gonna go up. We're gonna go across the beam. There's the little spool holder.
Yeah, and this is the coolest part. Here's
Oh, I see it.
There's the filament.
I'm just brushing it with a nail and then it's moving.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can feel it flowing into the hot end. That's where I can feel it the most strongly.
I'm literally just touching it from up here and just watching it dance around and within like the circle of my hand.
Yep.
That's really
You
cool.
want to find the hot end? Down. And again, fingers front, so that we're not ever between this unpredictable little movement and the right body.
So I'm just resting my nails on it and watching it go
And that's a
around.
perfect place to be. And if you want to check the filament, again, just check it from the front.
There we go. I just use my left hand to come up.
Yep.
Oh, and you can watch as it's like kind of following around.
You absolutely can.
That's very cool.
And when we're teaching library patrons or anyone, just to reinforce, like not to oversay it, but like a light touch at all times.
Feather touch is very
Feather
good.
touch.
Ooh, it's doing the little. Oh, that's cool.
I think it's
It's
doing,
doing the little.
so I think it might be doing the beginning of some infill. So there's going to be maybe a honeycomb structure or a stripy structure inside.
There's a little V that's on the inside of the. What we can feel on the little inside of the.
Oh, because it's this print
Yeah,
that we did before,
exactly.
and it does contain the little V. You
Yeah,
saw it.
I think that's exactly what it's starting is the little V on the inside.
So you can tell a lot just by touching it.
Yeah.
In terms of whether the flow is good, in terms of like when it's about to start, and what part of the print it's working on. And you'll also learn over time how you can tell how high up it is relative to
the bed. Yeah,
That's right.
that's very cool. I can literally just stand here and watch it and picture what it's drawing.
All right, I'm gonna come in a little bit more directly to see where it's printing, and this is just extra caution, but you can. I'm gonna come down. I'm gonna put my right hand on the top lightly.
Like right here where we're checking this progress.
And remember, the hot end is in direct contact with
With the bed.
the bed. So right now it's moving left to right. Gently keep your right hand on it so that you know where the hot end isn't. And when wait for it to look away, and then look here, wait for it to go right.
like a
and then
zombie game.
Check in, come to the right with your left hand.
I'm gonna wait for it to go back right and then I'm gonna look again.
Now's a good time. Right.
Ooh, run away!
Right.
Ooh.
That's okay. The fans are not sharp. The fans are actually,
Yep.
the fans won't hurt you.
Oh, it's doing a little focus.
Wait for it to
right
go
there.
away from
I'm
there.
waiting.
Touch it. Do you feel the base? When it's printing? I'm gonna come in.
There it is.
Feel.
Hi, fam.
Come to my left finger. there.
Yep. Oh wow. That is very
And that just
cool.
takes a little while to figure out. And again, you don't
Yep.
want to over touch it. You don't need oils from your fingers
Right.
there. But it does the filament, and check the filament type to find out how quickly it cools down.
Yep.
This isn't something you'd want to do with like bronze fill.
That's right.
But this cools very rapidly, and if you need to check it, no more than you need to, but if you need to reassure yourself that it is printing okay,
Yeah.
if you've been hearing any kind of crackly sounds and you think maybe there's
Upsetty spaghetti happened.
yeah, if you think that it might be balling or you think that it might be not flowing fully, you can just do a quick and gentle
That's very,
check.
very cool.
And then, you know, it's a watch pot. Don't overdo it, but you can do that safely.
I like playing chicken with the 3D thing.
Guys, any recommendations, comments?
You will also, as you use the machine, you'll be able to recognize audibly when
Yep.
it's not working properly.
I bet, because like, what are the good noises? What are the bad noises?
Exactly.
Yep.
If you hear any scraping,
Yeah.
if you hear any scraping of filament on filament, that's a no.
Or clicking means that it's jammed usually.
Got it.
Yeah.
And then we can also verify that by feeling that there's no filament moving through. Right?
Well, it might still be trying, and it might. So sometimes no filament will be moving through anymore. Sometimes filament will still be moving through, and it'll be balling around the hot end and scraping. A few things that can happen.
And if you lightly pinch the filament just above where it's moving in, you'll be able to feel it being pulled in and occasionally jumping back up.
Oh.
So it'll retract a little bit.
Yes.
And that's a sign of a jam?
No.
Oh, no, that's
That's
a
healthy.
good thing. That's a good thing.
So it's going to extrude, but then to keep it from sort of stringing out after it extrudes, let's say that it's extruding and it's leaving a point and going to another point and it's going to be discontinuous, it's going to retract a little bit so that it doesn't leave behind any stringing.
Okay, I'm gonna check out this little cycle. Oh. To the beam. To the little holder. To feather touch the spoon. Oh, yep, I see it.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yep.
You see if I can get the print time off of it. I think it's going to take 39 minutes. It's okay. I'm thinking that means 39 minutes.